Controlled Chaos here. Today I want to give you my thoughts on Space Marine 2 and what I think about and do like a review. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to talk about is graphics. The graphics look nice. Space Marine looks like a Space Marine, a Tyranid looks like a Tyranid, a Bolter looks like a Bolter, things like that. It has diversity in it and it feels right. Saber did a good job with this, and considering that Saber has several development teams in Europe, of course it would look this way. But even then, they are known to do their research and to change things and adjust things based on a franchise and the feedback that they get. How do I know this? Well, I was a tester on one of their previous games where they weren't too familiar with the IP and they listened to our feedback. So they do adjust things, and I like this. Now, sound. The sound is really good. The Bolter has that big impact sound that a Bolter should have. The Space Marine has that slight stomp sound to it. It's not overbearing. It's not major, which is good, because when you get to the PvP aspect of things, you don't want to have a big stomp going around, because then you can easily tell where the enemy is coming from, and that makes it a little bit hard. Plus, if you have too much stomping going around, guess what? You can mistake a friend for an enemy. So it's done nicely and adjusted there. Voice acting, I've heard some people say, oh, well, it's too bland in some areas and stuff like that. It's Space Marines. It's dark. It's grim. It's things like that. You think they're going to be all happy about the entire time? And the voices do slightly change when they're sort of making joking comments and things like that. So it fits with the game. Plus, look at Space Marines 2. They're sort of echoing that same feel. And it's good. Now, let's talk about the gameplay mechanics. It has the same gameplay mechanic feel that the original Space Marines has. And that's good, because everyone loved the way the gameplay mechanics were of Space Marine 1. Why change it? Why change something people love? Just add on to it and make sure you do good additions onto it. And that's what Saber's done. Especially when you get into different gameplay modes and stuff like that, and the multiplayer and giving choices to players, which we're actually going to talk about next. First, Operations. Operations, I think, is a great add-on for this game. The original one really didn't have much of it. It was all, either the campaign or it was the PvP. Having Operations in there allows people to play multiplayer with their friends without having to do PvP. And this is really, really cool. I like this. There is one flaw here. And that flaw is that the bots, when no one else is in your team, suck. They are terrible. And it's so bad that when I first jumped in, I only got 2 bots. I couldn't get a group. And I lost mission after mission after mission. Then I did my live stream, and someone on there said, hey, come join our team that was watching the live stream. So I joined their team, and we were just mulling through stuff. Then, when I was recording the footage for this video, I did Operations again to get my Operations footage. And I got that 50-50 bounce. I had one person in there and one bot. And it was evenly bounced. I was still dying some, but we got the mission completed. So just having that one extra person there was enough to get it done. And I find that very, very interesting. The bots just need to be brought up more in what they do and how they work to make it a lot easier, because then you're making a real struggle for the player who has 2 bots. And that's my complaint with the the operations setup. I like the choices there. I love that there's new classes put in. You got the sniper, you got the vanguard, and stuff like that added in, and it feels right for the game. You gotta be really careful as a sniper because you're a ranged expert. In melee, you're weak as hell. But that's okay. The vanguard is sort of like your jack of all trades. He's good at range. He's good in melee. He can pull himself into melee with this whole entire grapple ability and stuff like that. And I love it. It's addictive. I think it's one of my favorite of the classes is the vanguard. You know, the bulwark is a good design of a meat shield type character. Literally a shield and does good there. I like that they kept the assault the way assault is. It's just jetpack, death from above, do your attacks. You got your choices between a big sweeping hammer, a power fist, a chainsword, things like that. Melee specific, great. And then of course there's the heavy, good one there. Then you have your tactical, great one there. I wish that there was an apothecary, a character that specialized in just your healing. Yes, the bulwark can pull that off when slotted correctly for their banner, because one of the guys I was playing with the second time I played Operations had that banner, and that's good. But having someone that's purely class related to healing, and that's their special ability, is just to heal other members of your team, would be really, really good. Both in this, and let's talk about PvP. In PvP, you got the same class structure, and that's really cool. And in PvP, having those healers would be good. It wouldn't really change gameplay that much because you die really, really quick. If you're not careful in what you're doing, you can die really quick. And so you have to be on your toes, alert, but it's fun. It's addictive. Even when I was losing, I was enjoying myself in PvP. Now, I want to talk about the blood and gore in this game. It's meant to be a bloody gory game, just like Space Marine 1 was meant to be. It's designed for you to rip body parts off and to be savage and brutal. It's what the game is about. Anyone who doesn't like that, pure and simple, don't play the game. It's that simple. And I like the executions. I like the fact that I can dodge and they give me indicators. I like the fact that they give a different indicator to do a counter attack. And there's different ways to do the counter attacks with both the dodges and the parries. And that's really fun because with the parries, it's all melee. With the dodges, it's you dodge out of the way. Next thing you know, you're taking your bolt pistol and you're shooting them in the head. And it was just like, yes. And I like the fact that snipers get that ability and anyone else can do it, but snipers have an easier time of when you're aiming down sights and you see a target highlighted red and you shoot them in the head pops off. That's just really, really cool. Now, am I going and doing this in real life? No. Just like any video game, you're relieving stress. Pure and simple. You're having fun. You're enjoying your time. If you have a pet and they're sitting in your lap or sitting next to you because it may be a big dog, you're sitting there petting the cat, enjoying the company of your pets while playing a video game. It's the normal thing to do. People shouldn't be overlooking this game and expecting more out of it than what's there. It's there for enjoyment. It's there just to shoot things up, relieve some stress, and have some fun. That's what it's there for. And that's literally what they created for. The CEO of Saber literally said that they wanted a simpler game with not too many overly done, mechanics and things like that for people just to sit and enjoy. And they've done that in my eyes. They've achieved that. There are some small issues, like I mentioned with the operations. There's some small graphical animation bugs in there that are minor, such as when you pull lever, sometimes your character will do the pull lever thing, but the lever doesn't move. No big deal. It's not that big of an issue. So overall, I'd say I give this game a score out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8.5. Take 1 point off for the AI, and I think that can change. It could go up to a 9.5 and maybe even a 10 if they fix that a few graphical issues and stuff like that. It's minor nitpicking stuff, and it really doesn't need to be changed a lot. But the AI really needs to be fixed. I want to thank you for watching and have a great day.